Let's take a quick break from Prepare to Cry and I want to learn about the lore of BAYLE. Because this boss was really, really sick, but I don't really know anything about BAYLE. Like, what I was told about it was not much.
Ages ago, before the Erd Tree, the Elden Lord Placidusax was challenged by BAYLE,
Oh, okay.
a dragon that lacked the stone scales that made his kin immortal. So, in mutual hatred, they fought, flesh against stone.
Dude, can you imagine having to fight both of them at the same time? Oh my god. I bet you there's mods for that. I bet you there's some sick mods that'll let you do that.
Welcome to our second video on the dragons
That
of Elden
would be
Ring,
pretty hectic,
which refines
not gonna
their
lie.
stories with the extra
BAYLE alone
content
is
we now
already like a
have
crazy
from the shadow
hectic
of
fight.
the Erd Tree. The DLC has revealed many truths regarding the drakes, dragon communion, and so much more. But what I want to start this video off with is the Crucible, because I think it actually has a lot to do with the story of Placidusax and BAYLE. So what is the Crucible? Well, the aspects of the Crucible describe it as a place where all life was once blended together, and Ordovis's greatsword says that it has a red tint that exemplifies the nature of primordial
Whoa,
gold,
what's
which
that?
is said to be close in nature to life itself. This primordial matter, as it's called in the Gilded Greatshield description, would eventually go on to become
I haven't
the
used
Erd
any
Tree.
of the shields, honestly.
But this always confused me, because if the Crucible existed at the beginning of life on this world, before the Elden Ring, then how could the Crucible have traces of gold? Shouldn't the gold have come from the Elden Ring, which we know arrived later? It didn't make sense to me, but now, with the DLC, I think I understand. Count Ymir brings us the revelation that life itself
this
was
whole part
created
was
in a
so
cosmic
spooky.
rupture of the Greater Will long ago. We know that the Greater Will has gold as its aspect, and so it is that I think gold is just an innate part of the primordial matter of the world, even before the Elden Ring made landfall and put its roots into the Crucible, so to speak. All of this is to say that now I think the ancient dragons were some of the earliest beings born from this primordial soup. They embody many aspects of the Crucible, after all. Horn, tail, breath, wing, fang. So when Meta, Mother of Fingers, arrived on this world to scout things out, I think the ancient
Finger
dragons
lady.
might have been the earliest candidates for lordship. Then the Elden Ring was sent down in the form of the Elden Beast upon a golden star, and with that I think these ancients of the Crucible were granted order. Remember, the Elden Beast is the living incarnation of the concept of order. And incidentally, the Elden Beast's internal name is Nebula Dragon, and it does somewhat resemble an ancient dragon. It even spews the same golden breath as Placidusax does. Of course, these things could be just coincidental, but what if they're not?
Space
What if the
dragon?
Elden Beast's form was chosen to
I
help
mean,
ensure
yeah,
that
I mean, that
this
makes
vassal
sense.
beast and the concept of order would be accepted by the ancient dragons? That's a fun thought, I think. Whatever the case, we learn from the remembrance of the Dragon Lord that Placidusax was chosen as Elden Lord. But the question remains, who was his god who would be the vessel of the Elden Ring? Was it actually the Elden Beast? Or, more likely, I think, did he have a god equivalent to Marika, who chose him as Elden Lord in the first place? In the end, we just don't know. All we do know is that something went wrong with Placidusax's order, and his god eventually fled, with Placidusax endlessly awaiting their return. Whoever they were, it's possible that this god was also an Empyrean, a valid candidate for godhood. And like the other Empyreans that we know of, it's possible that Placidusax's god was also an Empyrean chosen by the Fingers. And that idea makes me wonder if Meta, Mother of Fingers, held any influence in this Dragon Age. The main
Crazy
reference to
boss.
fingers in this age comes from the Cincadea, a five-fingered dagger wielded by the high-ranking clergyman of Farar Missoula who served the dragons. The Cincadea celebrates a beast's five
I'm not
fingers,
familiar.
which are symbolic of the intelligence granted upon their
Okay.
kind.
Finger
Now,
dagger.
this description doesn't mention who or
That's pretty
what
cool.
granted the beast's intelligence, but in an older version of this description, it does. Back in version 1.0, it was said to be the greater will that granted the beast's intelligence. So, this mention of the greater will was removed by From Software, and yet it does make sense that the greater will would bestow intelligence upon the beasts, considering Placidusax was Elden Lord at the time. So here's my theory on why it was removed. What if From Software removed this mention of the greater will because they wanted to keep the lore a little bit more open-ended? What if they wanted to leave room down the line for another character who might have been capable of bestowing intelligence on behalf of the greater will? This is just an idea, but what if it was Meta who granted intelligence to the beasts through fingers? But however it happened, the beasts did gain intelligence, and a really great line on that topic comes to us from the description of bestial vitality, which reads, "Having gained intelligence, the beasts must have felt how their wildness slipped away as civilization took hold." The way this last line is worded is strangely sad.
Porcupine
I feel like it
thing.
highlights that while something was being gained here, thanks to the intelligence that was being bestowed upon them,
thing.
a crucial part of the beast's nature was being lost as well. Order had taken their wildness away.
That boss was crazy.
Just like with the
nowhere.
aspects of the Crucible, such wildness and chaos would one day be looked back upon with scorn. But as we know from characters like Godfrey, the chains of order can be thrown off,
We have like
and
5 more
wildness
minutes and
can
then it's
be
lunchtime.
embraced. Just so, aspects
I'll
of
have
the
to
Crucible
AFK for
can
a little bit
persist,
and
even
warm
if they
something
are
up.
suppressed. For these horns, feathers, fangs, all, according to the DLC, are interminable evolutionary gifts and symbols of primacy, seemingly baked into the DNA of all life born from the Crucible. This is why I think that at certain points in history, the Crucible of Life would randomly throw a curveball into the mix, a wild card that challenges the established order. In the Golden Age of the Erd Tree, it was the Omen and the Misbegotten. And in the Golden Age of the Ancient Dragons, I'd like to propose that this curveball was BAYLE the Dread.
Alright, we'll pause here for now, and I'll go get some food really quick.